Daffy Duck's Thanks for Giving special will return after these messages.
Oh, I beat you again, Mom.
One more time.
This is Split Second, a computerized game that's a race against time.
Let me have a shot at
It can be fun for the whole family. Split Second is 5 games in one. So when you've got a winner,
You never beat me in that one before.
you can move on to a completely different game. After each game, Split Second flashes your time right to an instant. 6 penlight batteries not included.
I'll show you how it's done, Dad.
Split Second, 5 electronic games in one. New from Parker Brothers.
Don't you know that you're a grown-up? No games, no puns. Not allowed if you're a grown-up.
Hello again. Welcome back to GenXGrownUp. I'm John. I'm a GenXGrownUp. Thank you for checking out the video. You might remember in a recent video, we'll put a link up top there, I had been to the flea market and I got a couple of really cool electronic games. One of them was Split Second. Now, true to my word, I still don't know if this is going to work. It's in okay shape, it's got some corrosion, it's really dirty and dusty. We're gonna try to clean it up, we're gonna put some batteries in it, and we're gonna find out together if we can get this really cool Split Second game from Parker Brothers to work. Let's go ahead and jump in then. So this is Split Second by Parker Brothers. Is this little guy inside? Here is our Split Second. You can see it's pretty filthy. There's what it looks like before we get started on it. We have the battery compartment here in the box, although you can see the corrosion in there. Can't tell if it's gotten down into the guts. If we have to crack it open, we will, but we're going to start by just trying to clean the outside and see if we can make it work. Here's the battery compartment. It's got some little instructions on it there too. So for starters, I'm just going to start with a little bit of mildly soapy water and a cloth and just see what we can do to get started here. Yeah, a lot of grime on there. This set in somebody's garage or basement or something for decades being neglected. It's not easy to get in these little nooks and crannies either. That could be problematic to get in there, and I don't want to damage the little speaker. Yeah, it's a little too wet. I'm worried about that. You know, maybe the safest thing to do is to go ahead and take it apart. It's so grimy up in there, and I want that to be nice again. So I can wash the exterior separate from worrying about getting the interior messed up. So it looks like just 4 screws. Yep, it's coming right out. Okay, let's see if anything else is holding this together. May have some little latches in there. It's not just coming right apart yet. A little rattle in there that I'm not real fond of. Ah, there we go. All right. Yeah, there's just a little latch on this end. Okay. Our 4-way buttons. Looks like that's one little button tree. Okay, if I can get all those out together, there we go. Okay, perfect. I can get this thing spotless without worrying about the electronics inside. Here is the we got the select and start button. Okay, easy to clean. All right. Let's see what we've got inside now that we're in here. Speaker looks okay. It's dirty. You can see the corrosion inside. That'll let us clean a little better in here. Screen and the main board are all just kind of sitting here. I might even try to remove the solder so that I can clean this back. And it looks like it parks on these 3 pegs. See our screen. Oh, there's the whole screen. This is just a lens. Great. Now I can even clean behind the lens. Look at that. Yeah, we'll get that nice and clean. Okay. All these pads for the controls. This is very much like an Atari CX40 joystick. These have tiny domes on them, and it's just held down with like this cellophane tape. And they all feel like they're still responsive. I don't see any real like bad damage on the board or any bad corrosion. All the corrosion is just here in the battery compartment. This is very promising. I have now successfully dismantled this Split Second game. So here is the main board and screen and the speaker, which I will clean lightly. We've got the filthy top part of the shell, the slightly less filthy bottom part of the, well, I take that back, the equally filthy bottom part of the shell. In addition to all this nasty corrosion, which we're going to try to get kill with some distilled vinegar. I've given these pieces a once over in the sink, but now I have this whole dish of distilled vinegar. And this is really pretty cool. Check this out. Can you see it go into town on that corrosion? Yeah, that distilled vinegar is not playing. It's dissolving that corrosion. That's fantastic. I'm just going to let that sit for a couple minutes and we'll see how it does. Fresh and clean, fresh and clean. So, quite a bit of difference. Nice clean lens. There was some gunk on this which I got off. And oh, that corrosion. So that distilled vinegar really did the trick. It's not perfect, but it is really, really nice for almost a 40-year-old piece of electronics that's been neglected for a long time. Now, I have a little bit of soldering to do. Now, I'm maybe not the worst at soldering in the world, but it's a close second. I mean, I'm really bad. So I'm not going to force you to watch me solder. It's an exercise in frustration, but I'm gonna go ahead and solder these leads back into the battery compartment, and then we'll put them back together. I've got the leads resoldered now. But before I reassemble it, I've got to know if I have done everything right. So I'm going to find out if it works before I get it all put back together. 6 AA batteries. We'll see if my crappy soldering job works. The moment of truth together. Hey, what, these batteries nearly double the weight of this little guy. Okay. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. Nothing. Oh, that's so disappointing. I guess the next step is to get a voltmeter after it. A voltmeter it is. I've got the batteries in. So what we can find is when I touch to the negative and positive there, so the corrosion cleanup did a great job. It's working. But here is the bad thing. When I flip it on, something is absolutely vampiring the power. Split second needs 9 volts, a constant. It's got 9 volts before it turns on. Once you turn it on, something in here is sucking it down to around 1 volt, and that's not going to cut it. Okay, I'll concede round 1 to the ravages of time, but I'm too stubborn to not get this little split second working again. This is part 1. In part 2, I've got a couple tricks up my sleeve. I think we can get split second running once more. So please be sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and enable notifications so you'll be alerted as soon as part 2 posts. Also, let me know what you think down below. If you have any suggestions, give us a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to us wherever it is you hang out online. I'll see you in part 2.
Don't you know that you're a grown